Good morning, Martinez. How are you?
Hi, thank you. I'm good.
Great. Hi, everyone. This is Martinez. He is one of our keynote speakers. We are having him in conversation with. He is the CISO and Head of Information and IT Security from SEB, Lithuania. Welcome, Martinez. We're really delighted to have you on board.
Thank you for having me here.
Pleasure. So, without further ado, I'll just go straight to the questions, as I'm pretty sure all our audiences are really um, dying to listen to, because it's very, very important and also very interesting topic. As a head of content, I can tell you that already, and we had a great buzz. So, the topic of this in conversation with is information security challenges in rapidly evolving in Baltic fintech or startup environment. We all obviously know so far that when it comes to the Baltic region, cybersecurity in the finance and banking sector is quite important. And here is Martinez, who's going to actually shed light on a few of this, on this particular topic. So Martinez, my first question to you is, what are the challenges fintechs are facing during the first years in business?
Mm. Yeah, first of all, we have to say that it was a good job made by regulators here in the Baltics. So they created quite good environment, especially legal environment, to have those alternative, let's say, financial institutions like a fintech ecosystem. And it attracted not only local oriented players, but even players from all Europe Union, because to get money, e-money license or payment license in especially in Lithuania is quite clear route with a clear requirements. And therefore, we do have now over 100, maybe even near 200 fintechs for a country of this size. That's quite impressive. And at the moment, we are ranked number 4 in the world. And those fintechs, of course, at the beginning, they are fueled by investments into idea, then investments into preparation for rapid growth. And when you move from idea to actual product, of course, everywhere in financial sector, when we are talking about especially startups, security comes in pretty much in the first steps. And to address that, it's not only development experience, it's not only development capabilities that you need to have in organization. Security needs to be addressed from the very beginning as well. So we are talking about, of course, cloud-based infrastructure, data stored somewhere else, and it kicks in with a bunch of legal requirements and overall security area within financial sector. And this is where the problem, I would say, starts. Because if we are talking about career development of developer, is it, I don't know, DevOps developer, full stack developer, you can expect a year, 2, 3, in a 5-year, we could say that this career can be built. With the security expertise, especially in very narrow fields like a cloud security architecture, as an example, that would be required for fintech from the very beginning. There is a huge lack of talents. And this rapid growth of organizations calls for such an experience. And of course, you have to have someone who would be the first security guy in the organization, or security girl in organization, to start building whole function, because majority of those fintechs are pretty much expect this rapid growth, this scalability, opening services in new markets. So that brings in quite a significant challenge. And since you are young organization, you focus on the growth. But
Right.
as you mature during the time, of course, the regulations kicks in, and it's not only financial regulations. We have to think, and all fintechs have to think to address cybersecurity risks, fraud risks, anti-money laundering risks, data privacy risks. So usually that lands on head of information security within such organization. And yeah, I see in a market, because I have to manage and to grow my team. This is quite a lack of this experience and this profile, and I believe this is one of the challenging, most challenging areas.
Great, thank you very much. I mean, that was really, really insightful. Because obviously people knows a lot about the Scandinavian region, but when it comes to the Baltic aspect, it was something that people were very much into or looking into, sorry. So I'll just go to the second question here, Martin, as to you. So when it comes to the financial sector, Alzheimer's transformation to adhere to a new digital services demand, what would you like to say about that?
Yeah, so together with fintech growth, where usually fintechs start with one narrow idea, one narrow service. Of course, in the future, with aim to multiply in countries to offer more services to customers. So these services are challenging so-called old-timers, the banks that operate in this market for 10, 20, 30 years. So this is a good force, let's say, to move together with new demands, with new quality demands towards customers, and especially this is a challenging market in the retail sector. So with private customers. And that pushes all organizations to transform. Not only from the service perspective, but from internal environment perspective as well. Because as I already mentioned, we have to fight now the fight with the new fancy startup-ish organizations for the talents. And sometimes it is, it's even a matter of the branding. To convince the market that we are not that old school big bank with only a bunch of regulations and bureaucracy to be interesting as an employer. Yeah, so it is very healthy, I would say, competition for the talents. That allows to all organizations to grow, to fintech startups to mature, and then to become, recognizable size-wise players in the market. Prepare for scalability in other, to start with, European countries, maybe even further than. And at the same time, that is a good push for transformation for organizations that rely on, let's say, predictable business models and very mature, let's say, business models. So that pushes from both directions.
Okay, thank you. So could you please shed some light on information, IT, and cybersecurity workflows market in Baltics? Because I think this will be very interesting for our audience to hear how is it going in the Baltics.
Yeah, most probably that's nothing new. That this is quite tense market, just that as in the rest of the world. But in Baltics, we had for last decade we had a rapid growth in World Technology Center branches
Mm-hmm.
operating in this region. I could say that with a bigger, one of the biggest players that entered the market in 2009, 2010 was Barclays, and that
Mm-hmm.
pretty much sparked up the learning environment and learning ecosystem where best practices of the world enterprises and the world level enterprise players came in, and they were like a big practical universities for a lot of IT personnel that learned and got experience how this is done at that league. And later on, of course, the number of those early joiners, let's say, left the organization, left for another technology centers, left for the startups, even created their own businesses, but that excelled all maturity of the sector. And security actually is the good example as this. We do have in the universities, we do have programs that are cybersecurity, security risk, security governance, information security oriented, but definitely this is not something that you can expect someone graduating university directly sit and get up to speed in the real market, in the real world, and especially in financial sector, because this is complex. For one organization, you cannot simply apply framework with tick boxes anymore. You have to be you have to have more business insights, risk management experience, and this comes with the time when you spend in a number of organizations and you build up this experience, which later on is shared with another new joiners. So from the market depth, I would say that there are good practices where in the short term people build up the necessary knowledge, but as I said, the demand market is growing quicker than this learning curve and then this gap filling. And by the way, I could say that even for the person who is not so much in IT, who didn't graduated from information security related education, this is still an awesome opportunity to start with a more simple, let's say, task, but to learn as it goes, and then you can have very rapid career jump in this sector. So yeah, that is healthy environment, and to be honest, I do like how it is moving.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much, Martinez, for joining the annual Nordic IT Security Summit, the Financial and Institutional Edition. Once again, we are really great. I mean, we're glad to have you on board, and it was actually great that the way you shared your insights when it comes to the Baltic region. So yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.